Hello and welcome to another update. In this one, we'll be talking about the Lyman and Kharkiv fronts. So starting out in the Lyman front, we see that the Ukrainians have managed to control Kolodyasy, Stavki, Novoselivka and Strenchiholovo, allowing them to push forward at Drobesheve, Derilove, Yampil and Sarishne. So the only villages standing between the Russian forces in Lyman and complete encirclement is Sarishne and Turske. However, just controlling one of these villages will be enough to completely cut off supplies between Lyman and Kremina. So the Russian forces located within this pocket here is the Bars Reservist Units, LPR, People's Militia, and the 20th Combined Armed Army of the Russian forces. So currently, the forces here is the strongest of the Russian armed forces. The 20th Combined Arms Army is the one that consists of the 4th Tanks Guards Division, as well as the Bars Reservist Units, being a special reservist combat army that was created in August 2021, and essentially it consists of extra reservists who received extra training since August 2021 and have essentially been training consistently since August 2021 until February 24th, where they were involved within the special military operation according to Russians, or the war according to the international community. So what we're seeing is that the most elite Russian forces are now defending Lyman and are in danger of being cut off. So essentially what this means is that the forces here around Lyman is equivalent to the Azov battalion in Mariupol being encircled. So if the Ukrainians manage to completely encircle this, their forces will still be focused here, and they won't be able to take on more territory because they have to focus on this encirclement. Will give the Russians a possibility of breaking through this encirclement and falling back from Lyman. However, if they focus on this encirclement within a week to a month, they will be able to force the Russians to either surrender or storm the city to the point that they are unable to fight back. After which the Russians will not have any troops yet to fill up the gaps that is left by these encircled soldiers. So essentially, this is a race against time. Which comes first, the Russian reservists to save this disastrous encirclement, or the Russians being able to actually defend Lyman, or the Ukrainians being able to successfully capture and encircle Lyman and quickly overcome this encirclement and push onwards to Kremina. Because the next defensive line of the Russians in the Kharkiv-Luhansk region is this line between Kremina and Svatove all the way to Kupiansk, but also further up north to Pokrovsk and Trotsk and so on, and finally one towards Borova. However, with the Ukrainian breakthrough here in the north from the Oskil front, we see that this defensive line is being challenged by from the north and the south, which allows the Ukrainians to essentially go around it and push onwards to the second defensive line. And while they have also crossed from the south here as well, they're able to push onwards from the south as well, allowing them to push to Svatove. With this push from the south as well, they're able to encircle this first defensive line down here as well, which will force the Russians to fall back to the second defensive line, and they will have full control of the first defensive line in this whole area. After which they can focus their forces on pushing, which the Russians having too much forces focused around Lyman will not be able to defend unless they have received the new reservists. So what we're seeing is a race against time. Will the Russians be able to fall back from Lyman and set up proper defenses on this defensive line, or will the Ukrainians manage to push onto it and cross through it before the Russians manage to do anything, or will the Ukrainians successfully encircle the forces around Lyman and prevent the Russians from retreating to the second defensive line and lose Lyman by being encircled? So that's what we are going to be watching the next coming days. Thanks for watching and have a great day.